The following is a production of Durham Television Network.
Welcome to City Life. I'm Beverly Thompson. Durham and baseball. Since 1913, the Bull City has been synonymous with the Durham Bulls. But did you know that 2015 isn't just any year for the Bulls or the ballpark they call home? 20 years ago, the City of Durham built the Durham Bulls Athletic Park, and the DBAP has been home to the Bulls ever since. Joining me to talk about the DBAP's 20th anniversary season and all the reasons why you and your family should check it out is Scott Cotter. Scott is the Director of Marketing for the Durham Bulls Baseball Club. Welcome, Scott, and thank you so much for joining me. So, Scott, for folks who haven't been to the DBAP, and I know there may be one or two.
Just one or two, just
okay,
a couple.
All right. In the past few years, they can expect to see some massive changes that have taken place there. In fact, the renovation last year was named the best ballpark renovation by Online Guide. Tell our viewers about this honor and what made the DBAP the winner.
Well, yeah, and going back to last off-season, so if you haven't been out to the ballpark in a couple of years, like you said, the ballpark has really undergone a massive facelift, but at the same time, it's kept a lot of the charm that have made it the popular ballpark that it is. So. Going back before last offseason, we underwent a $20 million renovation, and it was a great example of a city and a private-public partnership. The City of Durham contributed about $6 million to that renovation. The Bulls and our parent company took care of the rest as part of an extension of our lease to make sure that the Bulls stay at the DBAP until at least 2033. So we're going to be here forever. It's hard to imagine the Bulls without Durham and Durham without the Bulls. So that making sure that partnership was extended was important to everybody. But also making sure that the ballpark stayed modern, stayed relevant, and stayed the great place that people love to gather in our community. So when you come to the ballpark, I mean, I think that's really the crux of it is making it a modern ballpark with all of our brand new LED video boards. So we've essentially got 360 degrees of state-of-the-art video screens around the ballpark, which we didn't have before. One of the big things that we wanted to accomplish in the renovations was making the ballpark a true year-round event space. So adding a premium club up on the third level where our suites are, the PNC Triangle Club, which is if you haven't been up there, you got to know somebody. But if you can get up there, a 5,000 square foot event space that's on our club level, which is all now fully enclosed with our suites, which is a great place to take in a game, which now can host anything from wedding receptions to birthday parties to company holiday parties in the off season, which we didn't have that space before. So once the baseball season was over, we kind of just sat there and planned for next year. But now we can really, fall, winter, we can host events at the ballpark.
Yeah. How long did it take, by the way?
Well, I mean, we started, so the plan was to start as soon as the 2013 season was over. The Bulls had other plans. We actually won the Governor's Cup in 2013. So
Not a bad plan, huh?
We played as long as we possibly could. So we actually ended up, breaking ground on the project in late September, and it took us right up until opening day of 2014 to get everything ready.
And I understand you won some other pretty big awards as well.
Yeah, 2014 was a major year for us. So coming, like I said, we had the All-Star game in July. We actually won minor league baseball's highest honor, which is called the John H. Johnson President's Award, which is given annually to minor league baseball's most complete franchise. Wow. So that was a big honor for us. We actually were awarded that at the baseball winter meetings in December. And then the other award we got was an award from a website called GameOps.com, which is a leading resource when it comes to sports entertainment. And we were given the Best Team Operations Award for Best Game Entertainment in Professional Sports. So that's everything from when you come out and you see Wooly Bull doing stuff on the field, and our dancing grounds crew, and the Bull Durham Racers, like all the stuff that's not baseball, basically an award for all that stuff.
Okay, wow. So I dare say all those awards and everything helped increase attendance over the last
year. Yeah, we had a good year last year. We had a good year last year. So I mean, attendance, we set an all-time single-season paid attendance record with 533,033 fans. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention those 33 fans that pushed it over the top. But that was we crushed our older record, which was set back in 2007. So that attendance record is a number that we're going to try to beat this year and every year after it. But it was a great year. Like you said, revenues were up, and certainly the All-Star game was kind of the linchpin event of that season with just bringing in, 20, 30,000 extra people to the downtown area just
That is
to
incredible.
take part of a really cool event that we may not see for another generation or so.
Yeah. So the 20th anniversary is coming up. What do you have planned? And I mean, how are you going to mark this terrific milestone?
Yeah, and that's crazy. The first thing is whenever you tell somebody that the ballpark's 20 years old, they look at you crazy and they're like, "What? No way!" And most people still refer to it as the new ballpark because obviously the old ballpark, the Durham Athletic Park, is still there, still in great shape. NC Central plays their home games there, so it's a great little park still. But the new ballpark, and then people talk about the new ballpark, but the new ballpark's 20 years old, so you now have families that went to the games at the old ballpark who have raised their kids, and kids have kids of their own now that are coming to the game. So it's a big milestone, and in our advertising and our branding for this year, we really kind of play off that. How can something that's 20 years old be considered new? And that's a good question to ask when it comes to the ballpark. So,
but essentially, it is new.
And we started with the theme with really kind of connecting it back to the fans. We let our fans vote for the all DBAP team, which a team of the starting lineup of the best players that have played at the ballpark for the past 2 decades. So we did that in the off season. We've got a really cool commemorative logo that we've put on. We've got it all over the ballpark, and we have merchandise and giveaways for our fans for that. And everything from every night at the ballpark doing this date in DBAP history, and there's really cool moments that we've got lucky to have a lot of cool history at that ballpark. So to be able to celebrate everything that's happening every single day at the ballpark is really cool. And I think it's just more of giving fans a chance to celebrate the ballpark and to go back to those memories when they were kids, and now that they've got kids, it's just a really cool generational thing.
And something I've discovered, you don't have to be a baseball fan to enjoy being at the baseball park. I mean, I love it.
That's what we're going for is that if you come to a game and you have a great time and the Bulls win, that's just icing on the cake. It's kind of a double-edged sword working in AAA baseball, where you've got your most marketable players come and go very quickly. So if you've got some guy who's like, hey, you need to see this hotshot prospect, he could be gone in 2 weeks. So for us, it's really focusing on the experience that what you have when you come to the ballpark. That's the food and the drink and the seeing all the people, and it's being a part of that cross section of Durham and the Triangle. Which is really important for us. So yeah, it's all about that experience and having a good time. And like I said, if the Bulls win, in which we've been lucky, the Bulls typically win. That's just a bonus for everybody.
And something you mentioned that is particularly dear to my heart, and that's food.
Yeah.
Okay.
Me too.
So you revamped your food. Okay, tell us about that.
Yeah. So this off season, one of the biggest changes that we had coming into this season, and part of the making sure that there's something always new for every season, is we actually took over our whole concession operation and brought it in-house. So we created a company called Bull City Hospitality, which is fully staffed and operated by the Bulls, and it's running every concession stand, all the picnics, all that good stuff. So it's a big operation. It's a lot of work, a lot of employees. I mean, that company alone employs close to 250 folks. So that's a big operation,
huge.
And it gives us the ability to react a lot quicker to certain things, to bring a more local approach to our food and beverage service. And I think so far it's been great. It gives us a whole different dimension of control and ability to give back to our fans on game day.
And you're partnering with some local organizations or businesses as well.
Yeah, and that's a big part of it is like I said, having a more local approach. So Durham Catering is a group that we've worked with. They actually provide all the catering in our PNC Triangle Club, which I talked about, and our suites. So if you're up there, you've got a really nice upscale environment. Rise Biscuits and Donuts is if you haven't had that, then you got to come check it out. But they've got a kiosk on the concourse, so you can get my favorite is the creme brulee donut.
Oh wow,
which
sounds good.
Which is pretty incredible. There's a maple bacon bar, which is pretty good. Then we've got some more partners like Hog Heaven Barbecue is up on the concourse.
I'm there.
So, right, so there's a lot of fun, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. Our goal is every year is to work with more local partners and keep building that, so there's always something new and fresh when you.
So is this a unique approach now for ballparks to partner with local entities? And
it really all depends on what, like I said, what kind of control you have over your food and beverage operation. A lot of teams that for the first 19 years of the ballpark, we had a third-party concessionaire who was running our food and beverage operation. So they're really in charge of those relationships. So now that we have that control, it's easier for us to go out and say, hey, we'd like to form a partnership with this particular local business. So it just really depends on what kind of situation you have within your stadium.
And speaking of local, I know this is something that's pretty unique for ballparks, and you're going to be brewing your own beer on site.
Yeah, this is really this is one of the things I get really excited about, because it's something that no other minor league team has done in the country, and this again kind of goes back into that local, like you said, that local flair. So Bulls Durham Beer Company, which actually opened its doors on opening day and started brewing at the ballpark, is the first craft brewery to ever brew its own beer on site in a minor league ballpark in the country. So it's a first. We should have, it's an amazing place. You can't miss it. So right when you come in the front gates of the ballpark, it's right on the main concourse. You can stop in. You can talk to our brewers who are basically at every game working on the next batch of beer. So you can stop. You can ask them questions. Talk about, hey, how do you make this? What are the ingredients? What's the process? And they can walk you through it, and then have your beer. And I mean, you can't ask for a fresher beer. It's literally brewed right there on the concourse. So we got a lot of great attention for it, and it's something that we're really proud of and expect to grow as we go through the year.
So what's the local response to it? I mean,
it's been insane.
Really?
It's been great. And the first few months of the season, usually everybody's coming in as they start the process and asking them a bunch of questions. But I think as time goes on and people, we've got plans to bottle the beer later on. But for now, it's just at the ballpark. But once we get into those secondary plans, I think it'll really start taking off.
Wow, that is amazing. Gosh. So Scott, I know you have a full lineup of games for the rest of the season and the summer. So if our viewers want to find out more, where do they go?
The easiest place to go is DurhamBulls.com. That's it's always the one-stop shop. So on our website, you can get tickets. You can learn about upcoming promotions. We got the big 4th of July game coming up, which are a big City of Durham game. So that's always you don't want to be left out on that one. So the earlier you can get your ticket situated, the better. But tickets, promotions, merchandise, all of our social media channels, you can all find all that stuff on DurhamBulls.com.
So is this a job of a lifetime for you? I know you're a Bulls fan, a baseball fan.
Yeah, you have to be. There's not a minor league team in the country that you'd rather work for than the Durham Bulls. This is really the New York Yankees of minor league baseball, if you will. So it's a special team, a special community that embraces this team. And like you started by saying, it's hard to imagine one without the other. It's an amazing place to work, an amazing fan base. So it's fun coming to the ballpark every day.
Great. Anything else we need to know about the 20th anniversary season?
Just come out and hang out with us. It's a lot of fun. That's like you said. You don't need to be a baseball fan. You're going to have a good time. Just bring some friends and come out and have a good time.
Great. Scott, thank you so much for joining us to talk about this amazing year coming up for the Durham Bulls.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. That does it for City Life. Don't forget to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and watch us on Durham Television Network and on YouTube. Plus, stay right where you are, because immediately after the show, you'll get a sneak peek at what's to come in the next edition of Durham Magazine, and why you'll want to grab a copy for yourself. I'm Beverly Thompson. Thank you for joining me to learn more about City Life in Durham.
This has been a production of Durham Television Network.
Hi everyone! Be sure to check out the June-July issue of Durham Magazine. Everyone loves the Durham Bulls, including us. We take you behind the scenes with a stunning photo essay by Brianna Bro. Some of our editors' latest obsessions include runaway clothing, the new Durham Co-op Market, and the Glass Jug, a growler filling station and craft beer bar. See photos from Taste 2015, Durham Magazine's wildly successful April Food Festival in Durham. Get to know Grammy-winning artist Rhiannon Giddens, an alumna of the North Carolina School of Science and Math. Our readers provide some touching Father's Day tributes. In terms of food, we have features on Burger Batch and 21C. Plus, check out our comprehensive retirement guide. You can find copies of Durham Magazine all over the city for free at grocery stores, coffee shops, boutiques, bookstores, and more. Or you can subscribe by going to durhammag.com. You can also read the issue online, cover to cover, via our website. Thank you as always for reading Durham Magazine.